I got the greatest job in the world, and I mean that. You know, to be out there with those guys tonight and some of the adversity that this group has been through, and to not hang their heads, to be down 9 and backs against the wall and everything, right? But they just never quit. They stay together. There's a bunch of fight. Could not be more proud of a group of gentlemen, and that's what they are. They're gentlemen. They go to class, they hold the door for ladies, and they set their jaw for 40 minutes, and you saw that. I thought Bowden Scumberg was terrific off the bench and did a really good job against Nice, who's a terrific player. You saw it. Just Rocky Cruiser didn't have one of his better nights, but he figures out a way to get 2 big threes and a double-double. I thought Tyree Eady was great. And Grant was terrific, but it just goes without saying, you can see how much of a different team we are with Sam out there. And he scored tonight, he made free throws, and all those things are great, but we're just different. There's a different vibe, there's a different rhythm to us, and, you saw the motion at the end, and that's what it's all about. Winning is hard, there's a lot of sacrifice, and what that young man has been through, it came out, and I could not be more happy to, put my arm around him in that situation.
Did you say anything to you at the end there?
Nothing needed to be said, Jeff. No, nothing needed to be said. He knew, I knew what we've been through. It's my understanding that we're going to elaborate on this story a little bit more here in the near future. It was one of, if not the scariest nights of my life. And for him to be walking around is one thing. For him to go out and get 25, 3 games into getting back, is a completely different thing.
Going off of that, how physically drained was he at the end of the game when, he goes from not playing to almost playing 30 minutes tonight?
Surprisingly, Zach, I bet he's not as physically drained as you think, but emotionally, I think that's the bigger thing. You can still see it. He's still getting his legs under him. There's been a couple situations in the last couple games where he just kind of awkwardly fell a little bit. I've called 2 timeouts in the first half, something I hate to do, but it's just simply to stop the clock and get him off the floor because as big as this win is, there's something a lot bigger out there for us.
How close are you to having no minutes restrictions on him?
Really close. I'm going to always base it on him a little bit. We've talked a lot, him and I, and then with Steph, about him being honest about how he feels. This was the next step, 28. I think I cheated a little bit by 48 seconds, and we needed that, and we'll just play it by ear, time, score, and situation.
Any ability to elaborate on the situation with Andrew Morgan?
Ross, I don't feel comfortable yet. I will say this, it's not a very good situation. Could be something where there's going to be an extensive amount of time out. When it gets to the particulars as far as the length and what's going on, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with our administration and Wes going forward here.
Immediately post-game had some sort of conversation or plenty of emotion after the game. First, are you okay? And secondly, can you kind of describe what you're comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, I'm totally fine, first of all. I was being dramatic, I guess. I don't know, this has been a long month. Physically, emotionally, every which way, and I've just been eager to get back to myself and to get back with the guys that I love playing with. And I just feel so fortunate and blessed by God. I'm just so thankful for him. And in the moment when everything happened, I didn't really, I was kind of questioning him and why things happen the way they do. But there's always a deeper meaning and reason at the end, and I'm just so thankful for all of our trainers, especially Willie Guy as well for being the first responder. But without them, I wouldn't be here, honestly. So I'm so grateful to have them in my life, and God bless. I don't really know what else to say.
Oh, the second half, the rally.
That's just college basketball. That's what I miss so much. As a kid, that's what I've just dreamt about is, getting the crowd into it, having fun with the guys that you grind with every single day. And it's just a special feeling doing it with a group of guys with high character. And like I said, we work really hard for this and we grind every day. So to be able to, give the fans what they came for and do it in the right ways, you can't really explain that feeling.
Grant, 34 minutes is something that Sam is probably a little bit more familiar with, but no Andrew Morgan tonight. You had to take on a significant minutes role. What was that like?
I mean, definitely tiring, but we worked toward it all week. We ran a little bit, you know.
A lot.
Little bit, yeah. But I mean, I'll go hard the whole game. I mean, and it shows with everyone. Everyone will go hard the whole game. So I mean, that's pretty much it.
Flow of the game there.
I mean, people stepping up, hitting really big shots. Jarius hitting a couple threes. Sam hitting some really tough shots. I mean, it was just our energy just changed. I feel like we're just a whole different team.
Sam, did Dave say anything to you guys specifically in the locker room at half? I mean, was there a message that kind of moved things forward?
Not necessarily. You know, we have a veteran group, so that comes internally. You know, we knew our mistakes in the first half, and you know they had some really good fast-paced offense, and it took us a while to adjust. But I think we saw, in the second half we made some adjustments, and I thought defensively we were obviously a lot better. And our defense really leads to our offense when we can get out and run, and Grant's running the floor, and that just changes everything when we're getting stops and rebounding and getting out.
What was going on early interior-wise defensively? I mean, they had a layup line going for a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, we're just up in the gaps a little too far, I think, and it was just them backdooring on us because I think we're too worried about them getting the three off.
Sam, Cooper needs 40 minutes, 30 points. At the end, it seemed like every time he was going up, it was going in. What kind of player is he, and how tough is that when you or your teammates feel like maybe you've defended pretty well for 30 seconds and he hits a fadeaway or something?
Yeah, I mean, especially towards the end. First off, hats off to him. He's a heck of a player. Especially offensively, plays with so much pace, and obviously can really shoot it. And, especially, the last 5 minutes, we thought we played really good defense on him. He had some really tough shots, and it's important for us to, pick up the guys that are defending him and making sure that, we're not getting down when someone hits a tough shot. You like I said, just tip your cap and move on to the next play.